as Ross's talk is all based around videos. And we know that there are going to be a few technical issues where Ross has to unshare, share, and unshare and share his screen in order to make the videos work properly and seamlessly. So don't worry if your screen goes blank for a few moments. If you've got any questions as the talk goes on, please pop them in the chat and we will do a Q&A session with Ross at the end. Ross has been following otters for more than 20 years all over the UK, and so tonight he will be talking all about the secret life of otters. And over to Ross.
Hello everyone, welcome
Hi.
from Worcester and Ireland and apparently America. I'm going to start with a short video my friend did, which is kind of like a quick 2 minute, 3 minute intro. So I'll play that and then we'll get started with the video. If you can't see the screen.
I'm Ross Lawford. I've written a book called Otter Track from the river to the island. It's mainly early on about a struggle through agoraphobia and depression and the dark side, the mental illness, and how the natural world set me free. In particular, a rescued otter going back to 2004. I was lucky enough to get onto a course through the Prince's Trust, which completely transformed my life. Weeks prior to it, I could barely leave my bedroom, let alone travel the UK. The course is where I met Squeaks, who was a rescued otter herself.
Good girl.
And the moment I saw her, it something clicked and switched.
Good girl.
I ended up building an enclosure through the Prince's Trust for her.
Oh,
And then I dedicated every minute of the day to volunteering with her, which ultimately left me with a job on Christmas Eve, which was beyond any dream I could have had, and we were inseparable. I ended up living at the centre and about 30 foot away from her. She eventually got ill. She was quite old. She died of various tumours and cancer. And then when she went, I went too. And I went to track down her wild cousins, as I'd never seen a wild otter myself. And the story is a dark to light story, travelling from the southwest corner of England to the Shetland Isles 1,000 miles further north, living on Mull, Skye, Lake District, Glencoe, Edinburgh. So the story is a journey to find myself and find that I actually quite like myself, and nature. I found nature en route, and particularly the otter, the true embodiment of the wild. I received a message from a guy in Germany who himself is going through mental illness, struggles with mental illness, and he's very excited to read what I've done, and hopefully he'll get a lot out of it. And in a couple of years, hopefully he's tracking otters himself, watching otters, or just spending time by a river or in the forests, or getting something out of it. I'm Ross Lawford.
Ross, you're on mute.
Can everyone hear me now?
Yep, loud and clear.
yes, yes.
Can everybody see those random little yellow squiggly lines on the screen?
Yeah, I've been trying to see if I can get rid of them, but I can't.
I only have one.
I've got like a little, if you can see my mouse, I've got one there, one there, one there, and what looks like a little dot there. Um, yeah, I think I've drawn random little squiggly lines. Give me 2 seconds. I'll get rid of the random squiggles. Go on.
Yeah, that's gone.
Okay.
Well found the answer there.
Yeah, there's a random little eraser on the left-hand side. I can draw and doodle all night. Let me get back. All right, can everyone see that screen? Story. So this is now the female getting ready to inbreeding, just having time to herself, just relaxing, and so this is bagpipes background. This is one of the females on the other. She's one. I think she's about 2 years old.
Ross, I think you need to turn the volume of the video down because we can't hear you over it.
Okay. Is that any better?
Yep, that's a bit better. Thank you.
Yes.
So this is now the female who's now been mated with, and she's about to line the hole with as much bedding as possible. It's recorded over about maybe 2 weeks, where she would collect various grasses, reed stems, just anything and everything she could get hold of.
Do I have my noises?
Not fussy about what she was dragging on, from brambles to dried leaves to nettles, crisp. Just as much bedding as she can get to line the mating hole with as much as she can, keep it as warm as possible. And now some of this footage is trail camera footage from just in front of the natal hole, and she's taking time just to keep her coat in good condition, but keep away from the hole. Just have a bit of me time. She's going to spend the next year or so with cubs that are wanting fed and looked after. So she did this for hours and hours and hours before the cubs. Hours doing that all day. Hours and hours of watching footage of otters preening. And then the next stage, which is the arrival of their two cubs. I mean, these cubs are sort of 9, 10 weeks old at this stage, and they're about to have their first swimming lesson, which for an animal which spends the majority of its life in the water, they have a fear of water and don't want to swim. They have to be dunked under the water, dragged underneath it. They're quite buoyant, and the cubs will just float back up like a little rubber ring. And the little cubs just wanna play with their mom, roll on her back, little roly polies like this one. And these are the sort of first few days of swimming and staying as close to their mum as they can, and then if one's being like that, she'll get it by the scruff of his neck and swim it upriver. Like that. And then the other one's going to get the same treatment, back of the neck. Directly. That's the high-pitched call of an otter. For an otter cub, that's when it's lost its mum, it doesn't know where mum's gone. The high-pitched is like any water bird or water-based mammal has a high-pitched call, so it can be heard above the sound of a rushing, like crashing water or fast flowing water. And like kingfisher is quite a high-pitched call as well. And she's grown up even a little bit more. These are about this is about a month on from coming out of the hole. And still dependent on their mom, which they will be for like 7, 8 months from this point. Hitching a ride. Still being struck by the back of the neck. And this is what happens when a brown trout gets introduced. The two cubs obviously still fighting like any animal sibling, still fighting for that dominance, and obviously the strongest one more likely to not survive. Brown trout's a pretty good meal. The female again, just worth grooming with hope, releasing the glands, keeping the fur in top condition. And the cubs doing the same. And then more trail cam footage as they're getting slightly older. When mum's starting to leave them a little bit more at this stage.
There's a family of 3 otters.
Still being dragged underwater. There's that high pitched call again. So that's what it's designed for, to cut across that fast flowing river and the rocks. For the first 5-6 months, the cubs won't leave the they won't leave the side of their mum. They'll stay as close as possible, go on as many fishing trips as possible. And this is then getting to that 4-month stage. It's still collecting the bedding, which I think will be the majority of the time. This is them again, like slightly older, slightly more independent. They can fish themselves at this point. And both cubs are still doing well. These are about 5 months old at this point. And she's still waiting for mum to bring food back. It's not going to. Because I've been performing in the foreground. Sounds remarkably like a otter.
There were a couple of comments in the chat. Volume down on your computer a little bit more so we can hear you over the running water, please.
Is that better?
Oh, much better. Thank you.
This is a female getting to that point where she's having a little bit more. They can be more independent. The cubs at this point. This one's catching its own fish and doing quite well with that, giving the mum a bit more of a rest, trying to climb a random little tree and falling out of the little random tree. Now, these two cubs, I think, are 6 months old at this point. They can definitely catch their own food at this point, but they don't always choose to, especially if mum's bringing big trout to them. And this is the fight, sibling fight. And he's caught his own little fish. More rolling, more rolling and grooming. That's the two cubs. Nippy. This is the point where mum's got a fish and they want the fish. More rolling, more grooming. And this is them. That's the mum diving in now. This is them getting fairly close to being independent, to be pushed out of the territory. They usually be shown out of the territory between 10 months and maybe a year, maybe even 14 months sometimes. It's quite common. Males tend to get kicked out a little bit earlier than females, the cubs. Yeah, and this is the two cubs. At the latter stages, these two are about to leave. They're still grooming each other now, which is quite. Right, I'm going to share. This is a compilation really of trail camera footage, just showing how important trail cameras are in terms of just observation when you're there is is brilliant. But trail cameras offer something because it gives you that kind of a what's happening at 2 in the morning, at 4 in the morning. I've got like four trail cams out now that are possibly recording otters in various places. Just an insight into the sort of more of the secret world of the otter rather than, uh, otters can get kind of used to you being there, but you're still there. Whereas a trail camera, it's like that is 100% natural behavior. So this is kind of like a 7 minute um, video on various actions in front of a trail camera over maybe 2 or 3 years, I guess, like a best of. This is the same otter that was in the um, first video, so that's 5 years ago, or 6 years ago now. So I think she's at maybe 8, 9, even 10 years old. That female. Just see how much time they spend rolling around and just looking after their fur. With that high pitched whistle and plenty of fights, plenty of tail biting. I'm quite inquisitive when a new camera's there. This is what happens when I think there's four otters in here. There's um, there's a mother, two cubs, and an intruder who gets seen off. An intruder could be a threat to the cubs, especially if it's a male. And that little hissy sound like that. That's an aggressive. Um, that's an aggressive call between two otters. Hissy. Almost sounds like a barn owl. See how much like a proper muscly they are. They're like stoats or weasels. Very fast and erratic. And so the female in a little bit of snow, just getting a bit of quiet time from the cubs again. And the cubs spend a lot of time just playing with leaves, just feeding out anything, any sticks or just anything they can play with really. And loads of rolling, loads of sort of attempts at dominance, which looks cute. Attacking one's ear. this is again with that big huge trout, but it's all about survival like anything with like fox cubs fighting or puppies fighting. It's all about dominance and getting the edge on your sibling, especially at this age. It's more than likely only one of these guys is going to survive. And whoever wins these little fights day after day just gets that little bit stronger day after day. And this is one of the latest ones. This was from 2 days ago. This is one of my local otters, one of my new otters. Such inquisitive little things, aren't they? This is the chewing of the tail. Maybe the fish, maybe just trying to annoy them on even more. Just trying to bite anything they can, like otters do. These these two are her third lot of cubs that she's had. Always having two. I'll just um I'll just finish off with just some of my best pictures taken from everywhere in the UK. So this is a 10-minute video, but we can stop for Q&A. So we can either watch. I'll play this, but if you want to stop and we do a few questions or discussions, then we can. I put all of the sound recordings that I have of otters in the background. I just thought, I didn't know whether we're doing any questions or anything like that. So I thought because of the time, I just thought maybe, I don't know, Wendy, did you want to stop there or?
Yeah, I mean, everybody's enjoying the photos, so I don't know whether we want to continue
Okay.
playing them in the background while we do a Q&A. Kate is now with us as well.
I
So
am. Hi, everyone. Hi, Ross. Thank you so much for that. I didn't get to see
Okay.
all of it, but I did get to see a lot of the footage and photos at the end, and agree with everyone in the chat how lovely they are and how nice it is to see some footage like that. And there are actually quite a few questions in there. So if you like, I can just reel them off to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.